some clown. I'm gonna be honest. Why even go over there and say anything if you're not prepared to do anything?
If I was with Jake Paul right now and he threw me the gloves, like I'm sparring.
Yeah.
I'm sparring
Let's get it.
right now. Like I'm ready. Also, as a man, you get them gloves thrown to you by Alex Pereira, you gotta go in and feel better about yourself. You feel better about how everything went.
It made no sense. Honestly, he should have got hit. Like, why are you coming over here like talking?
Hill fired back at Johnson saying, "Gang, you a bitch and you one of the biggest clowns and pussy on the roster. They keep you around to get slept by debut fighters. I've made more money than you and you've been here 3 times as long, so I would expect you to know the money game. Find out what it is when I'm on that time for real." Johnson fired back at Hill saying, "We're not gang and I was just speaking facts. Work on your grammar a bit before talking shit. I don't go on social media talking shit. You know exactly where I train if you have something to say to my face. You've been there before."
Yeshna kağıda katılır. Короче, эту неделю нормально отпахали. Вот даже результат налицо. Тренера спросим.
Доволен ли я или нет?
Да,
Честно?
да.
4.
4. А что надо сделать, чтобы 5 получить?
Брат, в среду вечером отдохнули?
Да.
Ну,
Нельзя было?
нет, конечно.
Ой.
Отдыхаем в воскресенье и суббота вечер. И все.
What about middleweight? Who do you think is champ by the end of
Mate,
2025?
I'd have to say Chimaev, eh? I'm
Yeah.
going to say Chimaev. I just think, yeah, I think he's grappling so good. Like, so good.
Predicting the champions in 2025, the men's flyweight champion.
I mean, I would have chose Mohammed Makayev, but he's gone. So, Pantoja, I'd say he'd still be there this time next year.
The men's bantamweight champion.
Just remind me who the champion is at the minute.
Merab.
I mean, it'd be between Merab and Umar, I think, next year. I don't know. It's an interesting fight, but I would back Merab, I think.
The men's featherweight champion.
Featherweight. I'd say Lerone Murphy will be getting up there this time next year, but I still don't think he'll have won a title just yet. I think that'll be probably the year after. Who's the champion at the moment?
Ilia Topuria.
I think Ilia Topuria will still be champion this time next year. Easy.
The lightweight champion.
Just remind me of the champion every time.
Islam.
So Islam's going to be the champion again next year. Yeah.
Yep. The welterweight champion, Bilal Muhammad.
I think Bilal's massively underrated, and I think he's still going to be the champion next year.
The middleweight champion, currently Dricus du Plessis.
Right. I picked against Dricus so many times, and I'm not going to do it again. But I think to say that Khamzat Chimaev is not going to be a champion this time next year is just silly. So I'm going to say Khamzat.
The light heavyweight champion, Alex Pereira.
I think Alex Pereira. I don't know. I think he's got a tough fight with Magomed Ankalaev. I think that's a really tough fight. So I don't know. I don't know in that one. I'm going to be on the fence. It's going to be one of them two. It's either going to be Ankalaev or Pereira. I wouldn't like to say.
The BMF champion.
The BMF. Max Holloway still, I think.
Yep. And finally, the heavyweight champion.
Oh, come on. This time next year, as Ricky Gervais said, could be sitting in this hot seat. Yeah, I'm gonna say me this time next year. Yeah, definitely.
Feliz ano novo, Austrália. Saudade de vocês. Espero que todos vocês estejam bem. Nos vemos em fevereiro. Chama.
Go. want to win this fight, and I want to be busy in 2025. I'm fighting early this year, January 18, and I just want to be busy. I know O'Malley wants to come back in April. I think Peter will be ready in March, so maybe fight Peter March, rematch in April, and whoever will be next contender, I will clean the division again.
How many kids you got?
None, 0.
Michael Chandler got 3 black kids and you got none.
Bro, I was just telling that he's got more black kids than I do. 100%. I told somebody that. What's really gonna f you up is somebody thought one of his sons was mine when they were in the gym.
Shout out to Michael Chandler, man. Taking care
love
of them
Chandler.
kids.
I've heard nothing but good things about Chandler. I know a lot of people that know Chandler. They said he's a good dude, but I had to throw that joke in there. I couldn't leave it on the table.
No, that's funny. It takes a special person to want to adopt children and help children. He's got a big heart, man. That's all that matters.
One of my cousins, I can't speak his name, but like he messaged me like the day after I lost this last fight. Some of my cousins were celebrating my loss. They were all celebrating my loss. And he sent me a video of them in a place where we were 15 years ago. This small circle in Danun, where it's a slum. Like when you call it, it's like a slum. Where I first arrived when I went in South Africa, I was living in this place called Danun. And these cousins of mine were celebrating my loss. And do you know how much that eats you? Yeah. Because all I try to do is better for everybody.
You know, the fight, you know, was just getting warmed up. You know, everybody knows I'm a 4th and 5th round fighter. I just get started in those championship rounds. You know, I could have finished him in that 4th, 5th round. He was breathing heavy. He didn't have much more to offer. He wasn't going to be able to have much volume in those last rounds, so I feel like I was going to be able to take over in that fight. It was a close competitive fight. He didn't outclass me. He didn't drop me. He didn't really hurt me. There was a little cut that happened. I rewatched the film. It was like minute 2, and it was like a headbutt or right off his hip or something, but it wasn't from a punch. So, you know, that's the only thing that really limited my potential to be at 100%. You know, it's unfortunate that DEI doctor stopped the fight early. I feel like the fight was just getting started and there was a lot more that needed to be settled in there. So, you know, it's unfortunate. It sucks, but, you know, it's out of my hands. You know, I wasn't even trained. I didn't even have a training camp together. I literally, you know, had to put my favorite fighter of all time, Chael Sonnen, the undisputed, undefeated, you know, Westland gangster, you know, as my head coach and, you know, switch everything around. Didn't have any training partners, didn't get a proper training camp like this guy. You know, he was in training camp for 12 weeks. You know, he was preparing for the best version of someone. You know, I'm coming off the couch. This guy got me at 30%. I still should have beat him on no notice. So, but, you know, we'll come back stronger from this like we always do. Every setback is the perfect opportunity for a comeback. I love fighting. I love the UFC. And I love proving people wrong. So they're going to be surprised for what's in store in the future and how motivating I'm going to be. I'm going to get back into training camp and, you know, I'm going to grind like I've never grinded. You know, I want to go out on top and, you know, I want to finish my career the right way and leave a great legacy where people remember me as one of the greatest welterweights of all time.
There is a very big former champion that's a star of the mixed martial arts. His name is Conor McGregor. He is claiming that he's going to get $250 million to go box Logan Paul in India for a billionaire investor who wants to bring attention and tourism to India. I scroll down a little bit, and there is an article on a former boxing champion who's a very good star named Tyson Fury, who says he is going to switch sports. He is going to come over to the mixed martial arts. Now, oddly, more people had clicked on, more people had engaged with, and more people had commented on Conor's version, of which not a single word is true. You gotta understand, Conor's not boxing Jake Paul. There is not a billionaire in India looking to bring people over and change tourism. That is something exclusively done by a government, and that government is done in one place, which is in the Middle East. And third, there's no check for $250 million. So he kind of went right down the list of joking. He's kidding. You're not supposed to believe any of that to be true.
You know, the fight, was just getting warmed up. Finished him in that 4th, 5th round. He was breathing heavy. He didn't have much more to offer. It was a close competitive fight. He didn't outclass me. He didn't drop me. He didn't really hurt me.